intrigued or they kind of hate your guts. Either or, I love it. Love the attention it brings. So the way it kind of started is back in the day, I used to kind of be in the fitness industry, but there wasn't really any money in that. Then I went ahead and I moved over to doing TikTok shop back when that came out. And then everything kind of collapsed with that. And with the whole OFM thing, I kind of got into it because for one, me and my friends, we would talk about like, yo, we're dating all these women. Why don't we get them on OnlyFans and make money for us? And then once everything fell apart with TikTok Shop, then I shifted into OFM because my mentor at the time was like, yo, you get a lot of women. Why not just do OFM? You could make a lot of money. And that's kind of how I got my start in it. Oh my. That is that is rough. That is rough timing. What did you do to recover from that? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the world we live in now, it's an attention economy, and if you control people's attention, you get their money. So where attention goes, money flows. So the way it started is back from like 16 to 20, I was in my kind of pickup phase where I was just trying to sleep with as many girls as possible. But then that kind of got boring, and I was like, I'm still broke. I can get all these women easily, but it doesn't really benefit me. And that's when I kind of started shifting into Wi Fi money and online because I'm like, this broke fitness influencer thing. I don't get paid from it. Yeah, chicks love it, but that's about it. So then once that kind of started to shift, I'm like, and then TikTok stopped, didn't really start going the way I was hoping it would. Then I just shifted into OFM because I'm like, I already know how to make content. Already know how to blow myself up. It's just applying what I did onto other people. And then the way I initially got at clients was I would date women and I would get them attached to me. Basically, what I would do is I would go ahead, start it off saying provocative, evil statements to get their attention I can't speak, attention hooked. Once their attention was hooked, I would disappear. Then within 1 to 3 days later, after cutting them off at their emotional peak, I would go ahead and they would go ahead and text me. Once they texted me, they would usually try and come over. And then when they were over, I would keep my vibe kind of indifferent. Like, yeah, you're here, it's cool, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I would acknowledge their presence, but be shifted kind of away I would be shifted away from them because they can feel like, oh, he's not really interested. Then they would try and come on to me. Once they would come on to me, I would go ahead and pull back even more so that while we were fucking, I would go ahead and stop everything abruptly. And then be like, I'm not really feeling it. Then pull away even harder. And then by that point, they're relatively hooked. Once they're hooked in, you can flake a bit more, or once they start getting imprinted by you, once they start picking up your mannerisms, they start talking like you, they essentially start trying to be like you. And they're like, yeah, I do O.F.M. I manage OF creators. Then they start usually they go from, I would never do OnlyFans, what about my future kids, to, can you get me on OnlyFans? And then once they would get on that, they would go ahead and I can't brain fog, but once they would go ahead and get on that, then I can't fucking speak. Once they would go ahead and get on that, then it's the process of you want to make them make even more sacrifices, because when I first got into it, I thought, oh, I'm taking 80% of her earnings. That's enough. But the problem is over time, you'll watch their behavior is that they're still getting influenced by their friends, by their family, by all that. So the amount of actual influence that you're able to have over her when you don't know her algorithms, what they're looking like, you don't know what her friends are telling her, you don't know any of that, it starts to become a problem. So you want to subtly suggest that what she's doing with all of them, it's not really the best for her. And you do this by saying something like, yeah, all those friends, they're not really the best for you. And once she starts complying, you can go ahead. She's in a highly suggestible state right after sex. So once she starts complying, you immediately can go into. Are you familiar with what hypnosis is? Yeah, so you immediately go into programming her through hypnosis, where you go ahead and use the split screen technique, where you have her imagine that she's walking down a set of golden stairs into a cinema, and then on the cinema displays two paths of her life. One path is leading to her biggest pains, everything that she doesn't like, and that it's going to keep staying there for the next 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and that she's not going to be able to get what she wants out of life. And then on the other path, you tie that to compliance with you, where it's everything she's ever wanted, all fears she has of complying with you are gone on that path, and she's basically living out her dream life through that. And then once that process is complete, you go ahead and have her open, wide awake. And then once she's up, you tell her that this is who you are now. That's your identity. It's already done. It's already been implanted in your subconscious mind. And that's how you go ahead and shift her identity. And then from there, you want to go ahead and make her make even more sacrifices for you. One of my favorite lines to do this is whenever you want to go ahead and take more, you go ahead and say, baby, I could do the in love thing, but I can't do the broken love thing. And then slowly but surely, you don't want to do it all at once, but you slowly want to start getting her away from everyone. And then by that point, once she's already isolated, she can go at. Now, the risk of her disobeying and leaving becomes impossibly high because now there's actual risk if she leaves because she's already abandoned everything for you. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I shifted entirely away from dating them just because it becomes a lot of a headache trying to actually scale them when you're dating them. And